Hi there, I'm Frank, and this is a wine. Let's drink it together. Today, let's drink a Australian wine together. Let's drink a Chardonnay from Yarra Valley. Yeah, I think Australian wine category is probably one of the most misunderstood category. I'll go a little bit deeper into that, but let's just kind of drink the wine. How much is it? $32. And yep, Chardonnay. Let's give it a shot. Here's the color. Quite light. 2021 vintage, pretty young. Southern Hemisphere, so they got half a year ahead of us. Still, very young wine. Wish I never know where to put it. I'll put it right here. Let's give it a smell. How's everybody doing? Great summer day right here in Southern California. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's go. Really, so for Chardonnay, this really comes across very, very clean, very pretty, very precise. Purity of fruit, mild lemon, a little bit of lemon curd on there. What I don't get is a lot of butter. I don't get too much oak influence, so there's not a lot of vanilla right there. This is a very fresh, kind of a Chardonnay lifted, beautiful citrus driven. Salinity, a little bit of, not too much, but just a hint of some salinity there. But quite just very, very fruit driven, very, very pretty. It's got great energy. It has a sense of a verve to this nose. Yeah, really, really, really good, especially on a summer day. That's for sure. Let's give it a drink. Mmm. Wow. Zesty, good energy. There's a real sense of texture, almost a minerality kind of a texture to it. Let's get a little geekier. This Yarra Valley is one of the coolest region in Australia. Some of it is the altitude, but a lot of it is the hilly terrain. So there are parts of it that always have a little bit of shadow. But nowadays with global warming, that's not a bad thing at all. And this Chardonnay right here did not go through malolactic fermentation. So that's probably why I didn't pick up any sense of buttery note on there. We're getting a little geeky right here. But yeah, this comes across almost Chablis-like, and really gorgeous fruit, nice intensity on that lemon. It's intense, but there's also roundness on it. It's not just knees and elbows, and it's not too angry, but it's definitely refreshing. Let's drink a little bit more. But yeah, I think Australia, in general, in America here, it's just such a misunderstood category. And me for one, was kind of guilty of that, right? Because there's so much of that yellowtail, the really, really jammy Shiraz that floods the market maybe 10 years ago, and and nothing has quite recovered. But the reality is, Australia is it's a massive country, and they really have a very diverse climates, that can produce fantastic wines. And in my experience, some of winemaking is very advanced in Australia. I mean, let's talk about the screw cap closure right here. Most of the world, we're still stuck in that kind of old school mentality that natural cork is better. Heck, like when you use a DIM cork. Sorry, getting really geeky right here. But when you get a DIM cork, so you reduce the chance of having cork wines, and you would think that's great. But a lot of the consumers are still stuck in that very, very old school mentality. They just want to see something that looks like a natural cork, let alone going to a screw cap. But Australia, New Zealand, they're okay with that. They feel like this is proven to be a superior closure. On the reds, there's some controversies right there, but on the white, it's really the superior way to do it. Heck, if Burgundy, all the white Burgundy today decided to use a screw cap enclosure, from my point of view, I don't think the wines will suffer at all. I mean, maybe you disagree. Feel free to comment below. I mean, this is a public space, but yeah, the beautiful salinity right there. Beautiful Meyer lemon curd. Like just I'm kind of repeating myself, but it really comes across very Chablis like. And for $32, this is really really well done. And because it's screw cap, that every bottle is gonna be perfect. You're not gonna have a cork bottle right here, right? Good energy, nice acidity. As as lifted, as vertical as this wine is, never gets too much knees and elbows right here. There's still good roundness on that fruit. Very, very well done. I don't really know too much about the producer. I've had many wines across the lineup, more vineyard designated Chardonnays and Pinot Noirs, higher range. And for me, I think this producer really hit it out of the park when it comes to the value proposition. And it doesn't matter if it's Pinot Noir or Chardonnay. I always feel like it's always varietally correct, and it does a very, very good job. So Giant Steps, for you jazz heads out there. I mean, that's the album that John Coltrane made when he split up with Miles Davis. And I guess the story goes that John Legend, obviously a genius, and he always wanted to make that the album that the way he wanted to make it, and that's why he called it the Giant Steps. And I think the winemaker, the proprietor here, felt inspired by the same thing. He named his winery in Yarra Valley Giant Steps. I mean, when you call your your company Giant Steps, you're setting yourself up for very, very high expectations right there. And I think mostly he's met it and then some. So great job. That's the review. Until next time.